So, Mojang would host Minecraft Lives annually to talk about the new and upcoming changes each year for Minecraft. A lot of changes would be the addition of new blocks, new structures, or new mobs, but the one thing that would instantly put their own fans against each other were the Minecraft mob vote. Now there's a lot of controversy surrounding these votes. Basically what would happen is that Mojang would set up a vote between 4 different mobs that the players can vote for, and the highest voting mob would then be added into the game. You can probably see where this is going. Of course, everyone's going to have their own opinion and vote for the mob they think should be in the game next. With that inevitably comes discord between people when opinions or thoughts don't align with others. Now I'm sure that Mojang had the mob vote to bring people together and to try give the fans more control over the game that they enjoy. But besides the obvious disagreements among the fans, there was another, possibly unforeseen problem with these mob votes, and that is the content creators. Now the problem that this adds is that content creators with a big community would convince their own community to vote for a certain mob. Clearly this would then make an imbalance in the votes, and it wouldn't be mostly based on what the players wanted to vote, but now consists of others following a big creator and what the creator themselves want to be in the game. A big example of this was the mob vote back in 2020 with the infamous lineup, the Iceologer, the Moobloom, and the Glow Squid. If you were even on YouTube back in 2020, this content creator may ring a bell to you. The infamous Minecraft speedrunner / manhunt champion, Dream, wanted to partake in the mob vote. He voted for the Glow Squid, and with his extremely interesting fan base, would follow his footsteps just because they supported him. This caused so much controversy and discourse between both Dream's community and Minecraft's general player base. Now I'm not saying that every vote in 2020 was influenced by Dream, but what I am saying is that his public vote made the mob vote that year very unbalanced. This then just left a bad reputation on the mob vote ever since that incident. Some people even claimed that the vote was rigged, and that the vote was just to give Mojang engagement and that they would have added the mob that they wanted to win regardless of the vote count. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of those theories, but what I actually wanted to talk about was the backlash and how the community is reacting to it. Just recently enough, on September 9th, 2024, Mojang announced that they will be discontinuing the mob vote. Many players were outraged and blamed the imbalance created by Dream and other big Minecraft creators. Others, however, were relieved, as they thought it would have been for the best for the entire community as a whole. If you want my personal opinion, I'm on the side of that it's for the best. Any situation where popularity takes the cake, it's inevitable that there will be controversy and sometimes can just leave a bad taste in some players' mouths. Now of course, you can never please everybody, but that also doesn't mean that people shouldn't listen to criticism. Anyways, the mob vote got discontinued, and that was the end of the story. Now that the mob vote has ended, and the players have no sort of control over what mob they want next in the game, people started discussing if the losers of each year's vote should be added into Minecraft. But is this really a good idea? Well, let's start with possible reactions from the community. How would they feel? If you voted for a mob that lost, and then would be added in regardless, would you feel like you gained something as a community with that vote? Same goes for the people who voted for the mob winner. Would you feel like your vote meant something? To a lot of people, I'm sure that answer is no, and that the mob vote would have felt pointless if they added all the losers back. If the losers were added back, this wouldn't fix any of the discourse between the community. In fact, it would make it even worse. Some people would argue what we were just talking about, but other people would argue that it's better that the losers were added back because we've all got what we wanted and that we shouldn't be upset at that. Either way, there's just going to be controversy one way or another. So how would Mojang combat that? Should they combat that? And to that I say that it's up to Mojang. In my personal opinion, I think that's what Mojang should do, is let the past be the past and find new ways to bring the community together. Voting systems will never be a way to bring a community together. Especially with the size of Minecraft's community, a voting system should have been clear that it wouldn't bring anyone together for a good time. But if Mojang decides to return to a voting system, I believe it shouldn't be a one win, the rest lose situation. If anything, I think Mojang should give us a handful of mob options to vote for, and what you're voting for is which mobs come in first. Like in the recent mob vote with the armadillo, penguin, and crab, we should vote for who comes in first. All of those 3 mobs would be added, but the community decides which one they want first and not which one they want, and that's it. I think that would definitely bring the community together way better than how mob votes worked previously. But that's just an example of how they could do it. I still don't think that Mojang should add the losers back because there would just be too much backlash for a buttload of reasons. Players would be upset that there isn't anything new in future updates, just the return of older mobs. Some players would be upset because the older mobs that were added in don't actually live up to their expectations. And when Mojang updates Minecraft, I'm sure that they can only add a handful of mobs per update. So let's say that the next update they add the Copper and Tough Golem. People would be upset that their mob loser wasn't included in that update and would have to wait even longer for an update to include the mob that they voted for. It's just a lose-lose for everyone in that situation. If anything, I just want Minecraft to allow older worlds to be compatible with new ones without worrying about corruption. I know that's a huge task to ask for you, but a person can dream. If you'd like to see more Minecraft content from me, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell after you subscribe, and there's a survival series on its way, so you don't want to miss it. If you want to see me live, you should follow my Twitch. I try to stream every Friday and Saturday at around 9 to 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you want someone to join your Minecraft realm or make Minecraft friends, you should join my Discord. I'm trying to make my server an all-around server for gamers and streamers alike. I also have a Twitter and TikTok if you'd like to follow those too. Support is appreciated either way. Those links will be down in the description below. Either way, that's all I wanted to talk about. I'll see y'all soon.